last week it was two of my sisters' birthdays, and us DC folk hunting pack. We went to see Peter McGann at Vicar Street.
Yeah, he's in loads of stuff at the minute.
Yeah.
He's in
The Noviva ad as the voiceover, which you referenced.
Yeah.
In his show.
Yeah. I can't remember, never remember the name of the program.
Small Town, Big Story.
Small Town, Big Story.
That was Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, and Christina Hendricks.
Yeah. And I feel like he is just gonna be everywhere at the minute. He's
viral on TikTok.
Yeah. Is he viral on TikTok?
I think so.
I know he's
on Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram.
No, I made it up. Maybe he is viral on TikTok.
Yeah, he got big on Instagram first. But he's like one of them 10-year overnight successes.
Yeah.
Where he's been putting in the work slowly and surely, steadily, constantly.
Yeah.
Relentlessly. And it's all coming to fruition now.
This is our second time to see Peter. Well, it's my second time. No,
way more.
Third time.
New show.
Same Bella.
I know. Yeah. Same Peter, new show, new material.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So Vicar Street was the venue.
Yes. Before I met Louis, I'd never been to Vicar Street.
Before you met me, you were living in a cupboard eating bread.
Yeah. We've been to numerous shows now.
Yeah.
Since. Obviously they do music there. So that was when it's just stand for most of that, and there's some seats. And then for comedy shows or podcasts and stuff, they have all seating, so they bring in these little seats. So we're used to sitting at the ones that are on the floor level.
Yeah.
That's like a table with swivel chairs. Sorry, I'm going into the depths. And we weren't at those seats this time, so we were up the kind of side seats, which I was actually worried about.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid we weren't going to see anything.
Yeah. Because if the stage is right in front, we were
in the bleachers.
The complete back corner.
Yeah.
Like Maggie was literally in the corner.
Yeah, of Vicar Street, yeah.
But still, perfect view.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hear everything perfectly.
Yeah, except for the last 10 minutes when someone decided to stand. I had to do this to see Peter, but...
The
fella was just standing. I was like, what are you at? And I could see the people in front of me also being like...
There's some Muppets.
Anyway.
But yeah, that...
seats were really good, yeah. So
no
matter where you're sat.
We couldn't get... We left it kind of late and we tried to get 5 seats together. And that was the only way to get 5 seats together. But like you said, I was a bit worried about the seats. But I actually preferred it because I'm an old man. The seats down in the pit, they've no back on them.
No back. Early too.
Oh, we're getting into fucking old man territory.
Yeah, but still, people need to know these things.
So if they're the only seats available,
get them.
Yeah, I'll put up what I think we wrote.
Also, space for your drink in front of you. And that was nice.
Yeah, put your drink.
I appreciate that. Enough leg room to stretch out in front. Also, enough room underneath for a bag.
Yeah. So if you're apprehensive about getting them seats, I would highly encourage to go for it. They were great. I like it as a venue. And when we went to see Peter in Cavendish, remember when he was organising his Great Lad tour, that was around the time when he got cast to be in Small Town Big Stories, and it kind of looked like he'd be able to make it was going to clash. The filming was going to the start filming was going to clash with Cavanagh in Portage, and then but he'd be able to make the Vicar Street one. And then it looked like it was going to be inverted. He was like, no, absolutely not. And he'll rattle off everyone that's played at Vicar Street. And there's a lot of big hitters.
Yeah, huge.
Can't think of any at the minute, but...
That played Vicar Street. Vittorio Angeloni, yeah, that was really good.
We went to see Blind Boy there.
Went to see Mahalia and Kojak.
Oh yeah, Kojak.
Yeah, Kojak was class there.
First artist of the night.
Liam Nugent.
Liam Nugent. So, I was thinking about this earlier, and I think Liam is one of the kids you went to school with, who was always the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
But you were still a bit afraid of him.
No.
No?
What, afraid in what way?
He'd have psychopathic tendencies.
Yeah.
Violent.
Never did anything. But one time maybe lost his temper in class and he kind of went, oh, he's going to end up in the papers when he's older.
Okay, see, I would have thought you. Yeah.
No, not many outbursts, or would have that kind of psychotic laugh. You do something, he'd be like, ha 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 ha.
Unhinged.
Yeah, unhinged, but hasn't given you enough to warrant.
Fear.
No, you're a bit afraid, but like that, he hasn't done much. He's had like maybe one blow up,
Okay.
and now you're always on edge around him. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Or just as odd, like would just be pestering girls, but not really pestering them, just too nice. Too nice. Yeah, right, Siobhan.
Yeah, he
Yeah. Would always put his hand on your shoulder.
in a not in
Yeah, not in a cool
linger
way.
a bit too long.
But wouldn't even put his hand, like, it would be just
Lower
like
back.
that.
Okay.
No, no lower back. He wouldn't have the confidence to do a lower back.
Okay, he's building up to a lower back.
Yeah. Anyway, he's a comedian.
Yeah, so if that guy from your class went and did stand-up comedy.
Yeah, it's just like you think. It's a disaster. It's a train wreck, but it's brilliant. But I think if you...
Caveat. It's also Peter McGann.
Peter McGann is Liam Nugent, yes. So he ruffles his hair. He comes down his suit. He has his shirt poking out of the zip for his trousers because he doesn't zip a claws, and he comes out in his bare feet.
He's got a dicky bonus.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, which the experience we had before, my uncle thought it was two different people, but if you didn't know, it was Peter McGann. Like, I think if you didn't have an experience of him, because it just comes up as Liam Nugent as a support act, if you didn't know Peter, you kind of like, who? You would think it was just a random lad that's after walking up like a winner of a funniest in with club competition or something.
Outreach program.
Yeah, like you'd be like, this lad is shy.
So Conso is a mutual friend, and he went to school with Peter, and he said there's lads back home. Well, this is when Liam Nugent started to be on the scene, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember him from school." And Conso's like, "He's not a real person." But I think it's so...
He reminds you of people from school.
Yes. But it's so well researched and so well observed that you could easily believe it.
We all know a fella like this.
Oh, we all know multiple.
Yeah, multiple.
There was a lot of them around.
But I think also, I don't know if like, I think everyone in Ireland knows someone like that. I don't know if anyone in England knows someone like that.
Yeah.
Or someone in America like that. It'd be the same type, different font.
Yeah. So that was sort of Peter's first, I wouldn't say attempt, his first venture into comedy. He just filmed a load of YouTube videos as Liam Nugent.
So he wasn't Peter McGann originally?
Like, he was making movies, short movies, comedy, but
yeah.
But the consistent one was Liam Nugent, from what I remember. I remember Constance said he just went in, he's like, "Oh, I just made these in my shed."
Conspiracy theory. What if he was born Liam Nugent?
What if Liam Nugent's
and
real?
he's playing Peter McGann.
So he made like these comedy sketches of Liam Nugent, and then he made in his shed in the back garden Nugent Meets, a talk show where he hosts a talk show. They're not... It's brilliant because there's one he plays twin brothers, and obviously he plays both parts, and he shot it like a split screen. But it's so well... he made it so bad, it's so good, purposefully.
Yeah.
Like, he says the line this side, and then when he's waiting for the other guy to say the line, you can see him mouthing, 1, 2, 3, 4, counting out the time for then him to respond. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I just love Liam Nugent. I think he could be the Irish Alan Partridge.
Okay.
I've said that to Peter as well. I love him to bits.
Yeah, I think it's very fun. Now, like that, if you're not into like, he's so unpolitically correct, but like if you know the character, I think if you just... Some people get it, some people don't.
But then...
And I'm not saying I'm great because I get it, but like...
As well, I heard someone say as well, it's like, it allows him to say the jokes he'd love to be able to say.
Also, because it's a character saying them.
And he says, "I go after everyone."
Yeah, we won't ruin it. I personally think just look him up. Look him up and like just...
But like...
Because he's on funny Liam Nugent on Instagram.
Oh, and then remember...
He posts the most bizarre jokes and they're all spelt wrong. It's fucking class.
Are you going on about Donald Trump? And then he pretended his account got hacked
Yeah.
and was selling sunglasses from China.
Oh, just clever.
Yeah, and so well executed.
Mm.
But like, remember you said you don't know if most people get it, because remember when we were at Electric Picnic and we
Yes.
went to see him.
A girl beside us, and so at Electric Picnic, it was just down as Liam Nugent. Was it as Peter McGann as Nugent, or was it just Liam Nugent?
Just Liam Nugent, and then he had a set as.
So he just has it down as Liam Nugent. So I think as well, people genuinely think this is just a genuine comedian. It's not like someone playing a character. So like, as the same as you would with like, what are the English comedians that have their characters? That's just what they are.
Oh, like Alan Partridge.
Yeah, and what's his name? Lemon. Keith Lemon.
Keith Lemon.
Do you know, so it is Keith Lemon. So like for years I just thought Keith Lemon was just Keith Lemon. I didn't realise it was a man playing a character. I just thought that's and I feel like this is what he's doing with Liam Nugent. But yeah, we were at Electric Picnic and I love looking on people, especially during comedy sets. I'm like, what are they saying about them? And she was like, I don't know if this lad is funny or not.
Yeah, I'm not a comedian. I think he's funny.
I think he's funny. I was like, oh.
And then
I'm like, no, he is funny.
remember that someone go up and left, and
Yeah.
when they're leaving, he just went, triggered.
Because he's like, you will be triggered at this. So yeah, if you get a chance, Liam Nugent is so funny. It's really good. And it's great that you get two different sides of comedy for like that, even though it's one person. Do you
I
know?
think he gets paid twice as much.
Let's get in contact with his people and see.
Yeah, don't worry. I think he's.
Let's wait for what's the word? Let's wait for what's it? We reached out. We reached out to Peter McGann's people,
He declined
and they
to comment.
declined to comment. Next was Shane Clifford.
Shane Clifford.
Yes, comedian from Tipperary. I didn't know what was going on with his accent though.
Okay, well that's wrong.
He said Tipperary.
He's from Tralee.
Tralee. Tease. Sorry. Still, I didn't know what was going on with his accent. Do they all sound like that down there?
Gary.
Yeah.
He had a pretty well.
No, I was like, what country is he from?
Have you never heard Kerry people talk?
I have.
It's impenetrable.
Yeah, but I could understand everything he was saying, but I was like, where is this accent from?
No,
The
was it
very-
your uncle?
It was a very bizarre accent. Very bizarre.
Well, I suppose you probably had to Dublinify it
Maybe.
to be a comedian.
But he said the last time he played Vicar Street, he didn't go down very well. But I personally, so I was, as soon as he said that, I kind of went, oh. And then, as you said, when he started, I don't think he was that comfortable when he started. I
Yeah.
think he was a little bit awkward, and I was like, I actually, in my head, was like, this is going to be horrific. I actually was dreading it, because I get really like, what's the word? I get cringe for people when they're not, like, even if they're good at something. Even if people are good, I get cringe. I just can't. I'm like, ugh, I just can't.
Like an acoustic guitar at a house party.
Oh, I just can't. It just makes me feel really uncomfortable. So I was like, this is going to be torture. I was going to have to go to the bar.
Oh, if you bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom for like an hour or something. I just get really cringe. But
Did you say he's big on TikTok? Or did you make that up?
could have made it up. I feel like I thought I saw him somewhere before. I'll look him up and see. Let's see. He's got only 44,000 likes, but only 3,000 followers. I'm going to follow him now.
So he's not an internet sensation. He's just trying to do it the old-fashioned route of playing gigs.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? He kind of looks like the super vet.
He does.
There you go, Shane. Claim to fame. You look like the super vet. He was very funny.
Yeah, like that. I thought he was very nervous, and I thought his delivery at the start was clunky.
Mm-hmm.
It took him a while to get into his rhythm, but once he did, yeah, there were some great stories.
Yeah, like that. And I think as well, the fact, like, taking one thing he said, he's like, he went to get diagnosed for autism, and they said, you are, what did they say?
Yeah.
They were
Close to being autistic without being autistic.
So that could also account for his
Awkwardness.
Yeah. I found him very endearing.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably sit there and just stare at him and listen to him all day and be like, what is your life? You know, that sort of way. I'd be like, what? I feel like he'd just have the maddest stories about his just general day-to-day life.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, chaotic.
He had good observations, good observational comedy, good stories. Yeah, that's the tism, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like even if he went for a walk down to the shop, just something bizarre would happen. He just gives me that vibe.
It'd be a different experience than you
Oh,
and I.
completely. Yeah. But he was very funny. Everyone was, and like, I think that, like, it was slowly, people did start to like get on board with him and stuff, and they started laughing, and I think it was like, yeah.
But also, there is the purpose of the warm-up act is to warm up.
Yes.
Like, a comedian doesn't want your warm-up act to absolutely have the crowd in
Yeah,
hysterics,
exactly.
and then you have to go and follow that.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
Just to get everyone in the mood, and he definitely did that. Like,
Yeah.
how long was he on? About half an hour?
I actually couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But it was very good. Like, it wasn't too long, but it was nice, and he had great stories, and yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah,
And I would definitely go see him again. If he was at Picnic or something, I'd go see him.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I pay to see him yet.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, he might not brought his absolute A game because he is just warming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can see he's developing. He's got something there. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out for him.
Absolutely.
We go on to main event. Kid. Yeah, so he came out with all the sponsored posts as well.
Yeah.
Taking the mick of international comedians of, when I'm in Dublin, Ireland, I like to get a pint of Guinness at the storehouse.
Yeah.
And then a few other, go look at the spire.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and then I like to check out something recruiting on 27 Parnell Street.
Yeah.
Sponsored post. I thought that was funny. But see, the thing is with here, that could be true.
What?
They could be genuine sponsored posts.
Oh, probably.
Because
trying to make that money, honey.
He'll put his voice on Anton.
Yeah, true. Still good voice.
When he was, yeah. The Arklow accent's nice. He doesn't really have much of an Arklow accent, though.
No.
He's got a very neutral accent.
He's from Arklow.
That's how he knows console.
Okay.
I think he's from Arklow. I presume he is.
I think it's all lies.
I'd say Arklow was empty that night.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I'd say Arklow was empty.
Oh, the night of the gig.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I meant the night he was conceived. What? I don't know why my brain went there.
You got a dirty mind.
An even dirtier mouth.
Yeah, you don't brush your teeth.
Yeah, so yeah, he was great. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
Speaking of his sponsored content, he's like, oh, you might recognize me from the Novibet ads. And he's like, gamble responsibly, but still gamble.
Yeah, still gamble. Drink responsibly, but still drink.
His style of comedy, like Liam Nugent, is so well observed, and he's able to manipulate it or just find a point of view that you don't see yourself. He said the previous time, he's like, I'm not a comedian. He doesn't really have jokes. Like, it is all situational comedy.
Yeah.
Very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Very observant. And then, like you said, these mad stories or they're like little plays. But he does write a lot of plays as well. Yeah. Like, I just think he's so productive.
Yeah, he's probably constantly writing, so like you're bound to get something. Like, if you keep the brain, it's like any muscle, if you keep the brain active, like you're going to get something eventually.
Yeah, but I heard it, like Consul said that, he said his procrastination is writing a play. But he thinks as being as procrastinating. His style of comedy, see, I think it's quite unique. I think he's at the level you'd see from like a British comedian, because Irish comedians kind of seem to do well in Ireland but can't go further afield. Whereas I feel like he could.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think he's a different level. Like that, I said he worked on numerous plays, short films, his own stand-up, his own Instagrams.
I think he's a really good all-rounder.
But
there's not a lot of Irish comedians that could act as well, and none of the ones I know of anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's depth and range.
Yeah.
And like, there is some of the stuff in Nugent Meets, and it's really well played, really well acted. You're like, oh, that's sad, even though it's complete slapstick type of thing. Like,
he gives me Zach Galifianakis vibes.
Yes.
He had that. Is it Between Two Ferns?
Yeah.
It's that sort of, he gives me that because
Yeah.
there's things he does that's self-deprecating, and you kind of go, ooh.
There's that scene in Judah when he's on about talking to his father, and I was like, whoa, that guy can act.
Oh, he was in True Calling way back when. He played a mortician. Unbelievable. That's why I know him before The Hangover. Not Peter McGann, Zach Galifianakis. But he gives me that vibe. He could be very serious, but he's funny. He could do stand up because Zach does stand up, but then he could do like that self deprecating and just really like awful kind of cringy, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, but then can be so deadpan and be like, I'm gonna just be this character and I'm gonna just act this as I am this person. He's very like, he's got a lot of stuff going for him, I think.
And I love
And
Peter.
he's devish. And
What?
I was like, he's devishly handsome.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
I've been told I look like Zach Galifianakis.
No, you don't.
I love how he insults his audience as well. Peter, not Zach.
Yeah.
Like, he was on about someone, and people got the references. Like, I'm actually disappointed that people know who that is in my crowd. He was like,
Oh, about the Gossies.
"Oh, is that what it was?"
Yeah.
And he said he was up against Garrett Noon, and he was like, "Oh, I knew I wasn't gonna win. Fancy my chances now, though."
Yeah.
But he's like, I wanted to be the Martin Scorsese of Irish comedy.
Yeah.
Definitely intellect there.
Yeah. Big time.
Laughed the whole way through. I didn't think it lagged at all. I thought it was a really good show.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. It didn't feel really long either.
No.
The group beside me did not laugh once.
Yeah.
During Liam Nugent, Shane Clifford, or Peter. And like, I mean, there was times where there was one person that was like the far side, and they had the best laugh. It was like,
Oh yeah.
and like, I mean, those laughs were coming out. Silence. I was like, what's going on? Because I would find I'm not necessarily the best for laughing out loud. Sometimes I'll sit there. This says more about me than it does about other people. But I would sit there, and sometimes I've like gone to see comedy films, and I've literally sat there and been like in my head, this is so funny. But like nothing has come out of my mouth. So like if I'm not laughing, I'm like, oh, fair enough. But like I would even have a little giggle or two.
Like,
even if I'm not howling laughing, but I'm like, they literally made no sound.
Like, you're the Guns N' Roses.
But he smiled at least.
Did he smile?
Yeah, he smiles.
Best gig of my life.
So yeah, so like I do think I find him quite funny. I do think though some people may not find him funny.
I could say that for Liam Nugent, but I think Peter's is stand-ups.
Yeah, but I think if people don't have like,
Oh, someone wants to see jokes.
yeah, or like story after story that's funny, or like, you know what I mean? Like you just,
It is, like I said, it's very different. It's very
Yeah.
it's very creative,
yeah,
and he's unique. Like, and that was so Shane Clifford, the first comedian. He was a generic comedian. Generic.
yeah.
Whereas Peter is, I think, a different level.
Okay, yeah, I would just go see him. He's really good.
Yeah, what would you give it?
That one, the whole night, I would give.
No, we'll get. Yeah, what would you give Peter?
I'd give him a 7
Oh,
out of 10.
7.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'd probably give it an 8.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
See, as well as that, I'm only cottoning onto him now. Well, ish. I've been seeing him the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But comedy wise, how long has he been? I know he's been at it a long time, but like,
Doing stand-ups.
yeah.
See, I don't know, because like he's been doing the work boots. He was doing open mics.
Okay. So I don't know if maybe
What year?
I
I'd
feel
say it could be like 12 years.
fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking maybe we haven't seen the peak of him yet.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna get better. So I'm like, I can see it being like mad, and I'm like, I don't want to give him an 8 or whatever, because I'm like, I feel like
He's a long way to go.
not a long way to go. I feel like he's holding back a bit. Not holding back,
I getcha.
but you know what I mean. I'm like, I just think this can be like mad or chaotic or like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like he is trying to get people in before he kind of lets the whole crazy out.
Okay, I
You know what I
agree to an
mean?
extent, but I think maybe it's more testing the water
Yes.
and pushing the boat out further each time.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
I just say obviously in a different, I'm not saying he's gonna go mad, but like,
No, but I think
you know what I mean though? Like he's just,
it could end up being like flipping. Yeah,
so if you've kind of got your fan base there, if you've got your crowd, you're gonna have the people
you
come.
get
So you
everyone
can,
buying into it.
yeah, and then as well you can kind of go, well, I've got my little fan base, they're gonna come and see me. I'm gonna just be a little bit
Quirky.
more, yeah,
Push it.
yeah. I do think he's going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't sell out Vicar Street either.
I was gonna say
He's probably waiting to sell it out and then get the people in.
But what did he say? An almost sold out crowd.
Yeah.
He referenced so many times.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. What he
So
said.
funny. And it's like, I love the way he
How
kept,
many here messaged me before this gig?
I love the way he kept referencing it too. Because
An almost sold out crowd. 863 people.
because I think any other, like, I think that shows as well, like, he hasn't got a big ego.
No, he's very self-deprecating.
Do you know? So I feel like if it was another comedian, they would have been like, would have never mentioned it. But if they had sold it out, they would have had like sold out gig.
Yeah.
Whereas he was like, I'm just gonna address it. Like it's almost sold out. Like,
Yeah,
do you know,
yeah.
it's very, yeah, as you said, it's very self-deprecating, but like it's funny that he just kept going on because even though it's like him, it's nearly like he's playing a character of himself being like, I'm not gonna be upset about this, but I am upset about this, and I'm gonna fucking say it every second. Like, you know, like, and you could see
Yeah.
it building every time he mentioned it. It was like building to be like, oh, it's sold out gig. You know, it was very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think he can go so much further, and that's why I'm giving him a 7 because I like say the first time I saw him, really enjoyed it this time, and I do think he's gonna keep building and building and building.
Do you think this one was better than the previous? At Kavanagh's?
I think it was better than the one at Picnic.
Yeah.
But I feel like the two of them are on maybe the same level.
On par. Okay.
Yeah.
I think maybe this one swings it for me just because I think it's the bigger audience, and you know when you're in that crowd when everyone else is enjoying it and laughing, whereas like Kavanagh's, what was it, 50 people maybe?
Yeah.
Like it's more intimate.
Yes. Yeah.
Not that, yeah.
And like that, if something doesn't land, it's very obvious when something that I can't remember if that didn't land in Kavanagh's, but it's obvious when something doesn't land in Kavanagh's compared to if it doesn't land in Vicar Street. More people would probably end up laughing. You know what I mean? And like it was so funny because I felt like it was actually gas. For Vicar Street, I felt like we literally had gone to see Peter play in front of his friends. Someone laughed at everything. A good group of people laughed at every single joke, nearly every single word he said. I was actually in my head, I'm like, he must have sold tickets to like all his friends, everyone, because I was like people were literally laughing at everything.
Yeah, hi, my name's Peter.
Yeah, you know, like it literally was like they're laughing at everything. But yeah, it was really, really good vibes.
€35 a ticket.
Like
best ticket in town.
Printing money.
Yeah, I thought that was a steal.
Yeah.
So yeah, would highly recommend go see him.
Go see Peter, go see Liam, go to the Vicar Street.
Yeah, if you can see Liam as well, or watch Liam online, go check out his stuff. It is flipping class.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's so funny, so well done. Laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
If you made it into this video, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And please comment down below if you've seen Peter live as Liam Nugent or as Peter McGann. And as always, thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.